Howdy guys, how's it going? So I know y'all have really enjoyed the past belt kit videos, load bearing equipment videos, and most of those have been made up of U.S. military surplus. So I've got something different, interesting, and just very nice here in front of us today. This is the JAYJAYS Gen 4 Commander's Webbing. So unlike the surplus stuff I've showed y'all before, which is based off of a MOLLE compatible padded belt, this is a padded belt, but the patches that you see here are sewed in. And then this is the JAYJAYS yoke that goes along with the webbing. Like, I know they're sold separately. But this is the one that has a MOLLE back panel on this back side. They also, I think they make one that is compatible if you're going to be wearing body armor. But I wanted one where I could attach either a hydration bladder or some type of pack or pouch to the back. Right here, the Woodland U.S. military sustainment pouch in M81 camo. This is one I think I got off of One Thief surplus. And that's what I've got acting kind of just a really, really small backpack. And even though it seems full, there's still a lot of room in there if you want to try to compress things, but everything that's in here is kind of loosely packed. But this is the same load bearing equipment or webbing that I worn in that Day Scout where we took and grilled up some deer tenderloin. It was super comfortable wearing that. This is a different loadout, obviously, if you've not seen that video, as far as what is in each pouch and everything that's on it. This kit is set up for, you know, a long Day Scout where it's very likely you're going to be spending the night. This could be a really good survival kit set up to where you're still very mobile. I've not had a chance to weigh it, and right now the canteens are empty because 2 days ago I took this setup out for a prolonged day hike just to see how it would wear and see how comfortable it is. And between filtering water 2 times during that and coming back, the canteens in this are empty. But with all of that said, let's just take and jump right into it and take a look at what all is in this kit. The one thing I really like is all of these pouches have MOLLE webbing on the sides. And then right here on our right side, I believe they call this the Commander's pouch. I could be mistaken about that. But it's on my right side, which is my dominant side, and that is where I have attached a knife. This is a CV knife that I have used quite a bit. And if you're wondering what that stuff is, I've got some gear wax on there where this is D2 still to protect it. But this is a very, very solid full tang knife. Done a lot of batoning with it. I've sharpened this thing is shave yourself sharp. So yeah, that's the one that I went with because the Kydex holster with it is MOLLE compatible. Just clicks in, and a full-length, full-tang knife fixed blade that is just right there ready to go. And then before we get into the individual smaller pouches, let's talk about what is in the sustainment pouch and our main shelter option here. So in the sustainment pouch, we'll open that up. Got a drawstring. So here we have immediate access to our poncho. This is an ORC Industries mil-spec green poncho ripstop. Just phenomenal quality here. And I've not had a chance to use this one in an overnighter, but I have used an ORC Industries poncho quite a few times in the past and never had any issues with it. If you was to get a hole in it, the ripstop, the quality of the ripstop material that they do use works very well. It does what it is intended to do. This one's solid green, but instead of carrying individual rain gear like my Pentagon Hurricane Shell or even any Gore-Tex options, which are separate, this one's just quick and easy to pull out, throw over you, and it covers everything. And you don't really have to worry about it. So then on the back side, right against my back, this is that prototype of the Titan Survival ground mat that I am still field testing, but not running into any issues with it. So if you want to take and just, take your webbing off, pull this out of the back side of the pack and lay this over a wet log, just the ground, have a just a dry, waterproof work surface. But also, unlike most ground mats, this one has reinforced grommets on it. So you could actually use this as a cape. You could take some paracord, throw this over your shoulders and your gear because it is long enough. And if it's just like a really light shower, that is an option. So this is a very versatile piece of gear. Like right now, I am on a German surplus ground sheet. This is like what they call the elephant skin ground sheet. That's like the unofficial name. And that's the one I think I got off of GoMilitarShop.com, if that's something any of y'all here in the U.S. are interested in checking out, because this thing is a phenomenal piece of gear. It's larger than this is. Not quite as versatile because it doesn't have all these snaps where you can make this thing like a sitting tray or a water collection. So real quick guys, I just wanted to share with y'all a new mental performance shot that I have been using called Magic Mind. At the beginning of the month, the company actually reached out and asked me if I wanted to test out their product, and I said sure. Tried it for a week straight. The results are genuine, so whenever they offered to graciously sponsor a video, I was happy to accept. Now, these are not meant to be a caffeine replacement. I actually really enjoy having mine right after I've had my morning cup of coffee. It just really accentuates the effects of coffee. These shots have 100% of your daily recommended amounts of vitamin C and vitamin D. They have 55 milligrams of time-released caffeine, and all of the ingredients in here have been backed by over 200 plus scientific research studies. And since these are mainly made up of herbs and vitamins, you do notice a reduction in stress and anxiety, and you don't really get some of the negative effects of just pure straight-on caffeine from like energy drinks and coffee alone. It takes around 3 to 4 days of consistent use to really, notice the full effects of these energy shots. But overall, I do highly recommend them. And I was able to hook you guys up with a discount code. If you use code ProCaliber20, you can get up to 48% off your 10-day order. So I will have everything linked down in the video description as well. So be sure to check them out. And a big thanks again to Magic Mind for sponsoring this video. Very nice. Like that's got a lot of different potential uses. I've got some Tough Grid 750 paracord, so exact same thing as 550 paracord, except this has more internal strands that allow it to support up to 750 pounds. And if I remember right, I measured this out. I think this is a 50-foot hank. So as far as like, you take all the internal strands you got there, that is a lot. And I mean a lot of cordage. But there's a couple of different cordage options in this kit overall that we'll touch on. But this is just something that, as far as utilitarian purposes go, you have just quick access to it. It's just tucked off right here in the pouch. Take this off, tie up whatever you need to do. So just something nice to have. Then the final thing that is in this pack, which is kind of a warming option, this is that gravel gravel blanket. This is sold as a travel blanket, but I've been using it on a couple overnighters, and this thing is working great. And it just compresses so small in comparison to a Wooby blanket. Now the outer material is not as tough and robust as a Wooby is, but like this, I mean, this is meant to be, like I said, like a hiking, scouting, hunting type of kit. So if you're breaking this out, this is only meant to come out when it's time to to bed down for the night. And yeah, that is everything that is in our sustainment pouch. Moving on to our main shelter kit here. This is the Snug Pack Stratosphere Bivy. If you've been around the channel for at least about the past, I'd say 6 months, you've seen me sleep in this bad boy 2 or 3 times at least. And I went with it because I had the USMC Gore-Tex Bivy, and it was a bit longer, slightly narrower. It was probably slightly lighter, but it is a bit warmer than this Bivy is. Not by a whole lot, but this one just offers a little bit more breathability in comparison. And because it has its own stuff sack with these compression straps that run through here, that made it a lot easier to attach, because you also have MOLLE webbing on the tops of all your pouches here. And I use one of these roller cam straps, and then I just made a quick release knot here on the back. Just wrapped it through a couple times, and I went with this roller cam strap because one, it's just nice to have it as an extra because it's compatible with all of the paracord that we have in this kit. But yeah, so the Stratosphere Bivy, great. You see how compact this thing is. There's plenty of room in this to take in stuff or webbing and or other stuff down into the foot area or even the head area, depending on how you want to lay in it. And because there's enough room left over in this pouch with this other stuff in there, because that poncho is what was making this this sustainment pouch look so bulky. There was plenty of room to where you could stuff an air pad in here. So if you knew for a fact you was wanting to camp overnight, then you could take and put an air pad in here as well and just have a very nice, relatively lightweight kit for an overnight camp. But great use for the Snugpak Stratosphere Bivy there. So now we will start with what would be on our left side. These two pouches right here are intended to be magazine pouches, each one holding 3 AR style magazines. So the one closest to us, I have a Maven monocular. I should also say that this is not meant to be like a tactical military style setup. This is military spec webbing and all, but this is more just like hiking, scouting, hunting, camping, things like that. But yeah, this is a Maven monocular. Love this thing. Just crystal clear quality. I've dropped this thing quite a few times, and I had not had any damage come to it. But I do like to keep it in this silk, like it's almost like a double or triple layered silk case, and the rubber end caps have held up great. And then in this pouch, the only other thing I got in this pouch is these combat wipes. This ties into our toiletry kit. These are biodegradable, but these are also really nice to have up close during the summer. I'm somebody, I just get miserably hot and sweaty, just down in water like no tomorrow. And once you start to get dirty and sweaty, just starts running to your eyes and you just feel like trash. So something like that's just nice to have up close at hand. That's all that's in that pouch. Moving over to the second one, right here, if y'all seen the Military First large gear unboxing video, this is that Helicon Tex, what is it, the Tramontane? Yeah, Tramontane wind jacket. There you go. So yeah, it's just a windbreaker, a zip-up windbreaker that compacts down to the size of like a baseball whenever you really compress it. It's in Pincott Wildwood, which blends in insanely well here in my part of the Eastern Woodlands. So if you needed the concealment, once again for scouting hunting, then you got it. But it's just a nice thin layer to have. You could add on, you could wear it as well whenever you take and bed down, just for a little bit of extra warmth. Then to have quick at hand, some beef jerky. This is some Wasatch Wagyu. This is a pretty premium beef jerky, but by God, it is very, very delicious. And it's just got a really nice thin profile foot, so it fits on the back end of that pouch very well. And the length is perfect in comparison to some like round meat sticks that I also tend to carry from time to time. But this was a great fit for this loadout. And like, this is a replenishment because the ones that I used on that day hike a few days ago got eat pretty much immediately. Then on the back side of that, I've got a my Near Zero titanium trowel, and that is to go hand in hand with, you know, our biodegradable combat wipes. If you got to go number 2 in the woods. And then also as part of our food, down at the bottom of that, I've got 2 of these range meal bars. Each one of these is 700 calories. So as a total, I think I've got close to 2,000 calories in this kit overall, which is not, you know, if you're hiking all day and then, you know, and you have to stay overnight and hike all the way back, that's not going to completely cover you, depending on what distance you're covering. As far as compact food options, this is some of the best, like one of the best ways to go and still have a bit of variety. And that is everything that is in that pouch. Okay, then now we're going to get into our first sustainment pouch. These 4 are considered your sustainment pouches. I know as far as the kind of British military standard goes, normally they're made to go with like 2 of your BCB canteens, and you have like one with like a broke down MRE, and then one with I think your hygiene stuff in it. These pouches could also accommodate the 2 mess tin kits to slide down in them, but I went with a bit of a different setup in a way. This one right here, I've just got one of my Vault Can titanium canteens with no cup or nothing on this one in particular. But I love these because we've got water purification tablets in other parts of the kit, so you can just pop one of those in these and, you know, give them their 30-minute work time and be good to go. But also they're metal, so just like my other one over here, you can take and strain these up, boil water in them, and then I've got a water filter option because I'm more paranoid about drinking water than anything. So yeah, these are the canteens I like to go with, metal when possible. Moving over to the next sustainment pouch, go ahead and pull out. This right here is our last food option in this, and this is a rec pack. This particular one is the vanilla chai. This is 700 calories. These are very, very good. And then after you get done drinking them, you have another container that you can carry and transport and purify water in with water purification tablets. So that's why I went with this. Also, it's just nice to have something different because these range meal bars are pretty tasty, but they're very dense, they're very chewy. So after, you know, just eating something like this or in between eating these two, it'd just be nice to have some easy calories that you could chug down. And this one tastes very good. I love vanilla. Vanilla is, when it comes to like milkshakes and protein shakes, anything like that, vanilla is my preferred flavor. Even though we don't need it for this in particular, I do have a long-handled spork. I threw that in here just so that if you're hiking with somebody else, they have food. Or if you wanted to take like this out, because with the size of this, you could also throw in a dehydrated meal. So when I was hiking with it, I just wanted to carry this as part of the kit to, you know, have it in there. Okay, then right here is our other cordage. This is a Titan Survival Survivor cord. So it's like your standard 550 cord, but it also has an internal strand of fishing line, an internal strand of snare wire, and an internal strand of tender cordage. So in the event that I was in a bad situation, this would be the piece of cordage I would break it down first before I broke down the Tough Grid 750. Like if I need to run a ridge line or something, I would use this. But if I was going to be needing internal strands, I would break this down and then separate the snare wire, fishing line, and tender from each other. And yeah, so this is a very, very versatile piece of cordage. Like the most versatile cordage on the market as far as I'm aware. Okay, and then we start to get into a couple of other little random things aside from our headlamp. And it's placed where it's at. It was actually right below our windbreaker just because you're not going to be breaking this out or needing it until it gets dark. So, yeah, this is the Coast Portland WPH34R. I love Coast stuff. I mean, this thing, when I say waterproof, it's waterproof. It has a very good bright floodlight option, a spotlight option, and then you can combine them, but you also have red light, green light, and then your low flood. The low flood and the red is what I use the most. But I like having a larger, beefier headlamp that has a very, very long run time on it in comparison to carrying a lighter weight headlamp. Just because if you're out there for a couple of days, that means you're going to be out there for a couple of nights. and you need to be able to see what you're doing. So I like having the peace of mind knowing that I got a quality headlamp with me. Then here, just in an old pill bottle, this is my sewing kit. I've got Gorilla Tape wrapped around the outside of it. On the inside, I have got a large no-sew patch. So if I just make a quick repair on a small hole, I can get that. But if I have major repairs that need to be done, I've got safety pins, 3 tubes with sewing thread wrapped around it, and then probably about 10 different needles in there of various sizes and thicknesses. So I can pretty much repair any clothing or gear item I need to with this kit. Finally, in here, in that pouch, I've got 3 Clean Freak body wipes. I love these. These are scented, so I mean, if the scented part is a problem, I think they make unscented ones, but to me it doesn't really matter. But yeah, like during the summer, and really regardless, it doesn't matter if you're hiking in hot weather, cold weather, you're going to be sweating. And if you're going to be bedding down, it's really, really nice to be able to wipe yourself down, wipe yourself off, just to feel fresh, clean, before you have to wake up and tackle the next day. And then that is everything that is in that sustainment pouch. Yep. Now next up here, we have got Titan Survival emergency sleeping bags. So this is like just your 2 Mylar blankets that have a type of tape that seam seals the edges. So it's just like a rectangular Mylar sleeping bag, but it's made of Titan Survival's whatever their Mylar material is. It's a bit stretchy. It's the most durable that I've found to date. And we took and done an overnighter using one of these stuffed with leaves as a debris bed, and I got to be honest, it's one of the most comfortable like outdoor sleeping options there is. Like making a very, very thick debris bed and then having a material that's not unpleasant to lay on. It just it conforms to your body like a Tempur-Pedic. So I have this in here. You could use it for as a warming layer to reflect your body heat, but it's much better served to get you off the ground. It just takes time. So if you knew you was going to be spending an overnight, I would put an air mat or something in this sustainment pouch. But if all else fails, you do have this as an option. So then we have our water filtration. This is a HydroPack water filter, and then a HydroPack 1 liter bag. So it's real quick and easy to pull this out, screw these 2 things out, just scoop up water, fill up your bladder bag here, put this on, and then the same capacity as our canteens, 1 liter. So you can just filter water like that. In our natural mountain streams and everything where I go, you don't really have to worry about anything major. I still use water purification tablets if I'm not using this, even though the water's probably safe to drink regardless, but it's better to not take any chances. Okay, then here we have our main piece of cordage, which is a roller cam 25 foot, it's either 15 or 25 foot length. And this would be so I could set my poncho up in a plow point shelter if I wanted some extra workspace, or just to cover the head area of our Snug Pack Stratosphere bivvy. A plow point's just the easiest, and that is also why I included a bag of just the very simple tent stakes. If I had time, I would just whittle me some more solid, girthier tent stakes out of wood, but if I needed to throw something up super quick, I've got a bag of, I think there's 7 in here. So a lot of different shelter options you can do with those, and this and the other cordage we got. And yeah, then the last thing in this pouch is a pair of sleep socks, just some socks to throw on. I mean, and you could change them out middle of the day, whatever you want to do, but I would put them on just before going to bed, let your socks just hiking all day dry out, and then swap them back out in the morning. I'll just go ahead and put those back in there. Okay, next up, this is one that doesn't have a ton in it. This is our other Vulcan titanium canteen. Like I said, these are the exact same. And I've been using these, well, I've been using one of these for over 2 years. Yeah, over 2 years. The other one's relatively new, but not had any issues with them. And then I have the corresponding 750 milliliter canteen cup, which we would use for any cooking needs. And then the lid, as you can tell, like this is the cup that has also, I've had for about 2 to 2.5 years. Just zero issues with any of the vault can stuff. I have been using and field testing. Absolutely love it. Can't go wrong with it, and that's the only thing that's in that pouch. Then finally we have our, what I believe is the commander's or admin pouch. It's somewhere, something along those lines. But we'll crack this bad boy open. So here I have got, right here on the far edge, this just so happened, like this came with a notepad. This is the JAYJAYS notepad. So this is good and goes hand in hand with our Sun 2 global compass here, so that when we're doing some navigation, obviously I don't have a map like in this kit right here right now, because it would depend on the area that you're at. But if you need to do any land navigation, you can do so with your compass. You can make notes in this. You can also, I like to have these notepads with me now just because I like to write down video ideas and just make notes in general, just so I don't have to try to remember things off the top of my head whenever I get back from whatever it is that I was doing. But we got those. There's a spot on the outside of this pouch to where you can dummy cord your compass to it. So since it's right here on the outside, you could have this where you keep pulling it out and just have quick, easy access to it and don't have to worry about dropping it or losing it. Then in our Tough Possum gear pouch here, this is pretty much the same loadout. I've got a Sun Company carabiner thermometer. I like having one of these with me so that I can gauge the temperature, even if I know what it's supposed to be beforehand. In the mountains, there's like kind of temperature zones that fluctuate, so you could end up in one of those zones and have it be anywhere from, you know, 2 to 3 to 10 to 15 degree difference. And then I just added a glow-in-the-dark County Com zipper pull there. But inside of this pouch, I have got a bunch of our banana bag oral solutions. These are hands down my favorite, essentially electrolyte drink mixes, but I have a lot of other stuff added to them in comparison to a lot of other electrolyte drink mixes. I've got a spare lighter in an Exotac waterproof case. Right now I'm wearing jeans because I just got back from an appointment, but whenever I'm out in the woods, I have on cargo pants with my medical stuff to stop major bleeding, and I have my fire kit on me and stuff like that, and my gloves, so that's why that's not in here. Right here is a lever gear sliding vault. This has just some like Benadryl, ibuprofen, things like that. Got a nice thick wad of white Gorilla Tape. Where it is summer, I've got some Afterbite Sting and Itch Relief. Got another small field notes notepad in there just because it was already there. I've got my Sharpal multi-use or multi-purpose knife sharpener just to keep my edges honed. Got some Wild Fit energy shots. This is like a powder, like a pixie stick. You just pour it on your tongue. Gives you some nice, clean energy. Got some nose slap smelling salts. It's kind of funny because I actually use these more when I'm gaming than anything. Then there is supposed to be, yes, there it is. It just got pushed to the bottom. The last thing is, this is a Titan Survival whistle. It is very, very loud. It's orange, so it's hard to lose. And then if you need to pull this out and clip it onto any of your other MOLLE webbing on the yoke or harness of this rig, you can do so. So if you know, you're hiking, or you can even take and use that slide and clip and hook it in that way so you can pull it out quick and easy. So if search and rescue's looking for you, you can just have immediate access to it. But that is everything in this Tough Possum gear pouch. Let's put that back. And yet then the last two things that is in this pouch is here. we have got something that I have not had a chance to test this particular one out, but I have used something similar to this in the past, and it worked very, very well, but this one is even higher quality. This is a County Com like chainsaw. It's one where you have like the webbing straps and then essentially just a chainsaw blade. And these work really, really well. Especially when you're cutting some of the softer woods like poplar. And this is just a great way to clear a trail, or if you needed to cut wood for a shelter. And I mean, you've seen how compact it is. And then this is one of the best cases. Normally they make them out of a nylon material, and this could be, but this is reinforced in some way to where you just really don't have to worry about the chainsaw blade damaging your backpack, or in this case, your webbing pouch, like you would with some of the other cheaper ones I've seen. But this County Com is still very, very reasonably priced. So, not had a chance to field test it fully, so you know, stay tuned for that. But we will be using this a good bit to see how it performs. And then I took and upgraded. I've been carrying around the small County Com signal mirror, but since during the summer, if you was in a situation to where you needed a signal for help, this here larger County Com signal mirror would make things a lot easier for you. There's lots of, you know, mountains, ridges, and stuff that I'm in, and it's very densely wooded, but you can find patches where you can see the sky. So if like a helicopter or something was to fly over and you flashed them with this, a larger one like this with a larger viewing and sighting window would make it easier. And anything that flashed them like this, they would see it in a heartbeat. So as thin and lightweight as this is, there's no reason kind of not to carry it. And then between the whistle and this, pretty much your best signaling options apart from having like a GPS locator, but then, you know, I would have my phone and stuff on me. Just you don't really get the luxury of cell signal. So yeah, guys, that is just everything that is just loosely and roughly laid out here. So I mean, quite a bit of kit, quite a bit of gear that you can comfortably fit into a webbing LBE loadout such as this. And there's still plenty of room. Like if you're somebody that really wants to like cram and just pack as much as humanly possible into this, then by God, you could have a lot more. And there's a lot of luxuries here that you could pull away, because I mean, like those two front pouches are initially intended to carry 6 total magazines. This commander's pouch, why it's typically used for like, you know, notebooks and stuff like that, it can hold 6 or 7 magazines as well. So if you was wanting to use this as a fighting loadout, you can carry a lot of magazines and then more than fit your basic sustainment needs. So I think it's a great setup overall. It is very, very comfortable to carry. Walking around, hiking uneven terrain, bushwhacking with it, having it take briars, sharp branches, things like that. Not had any issues, and it's just taking it with stride. So far, highly recommend. I will, as always, link to all of the gear that is in this video down in the video description. So be sure to check down there if you're wanting a direct link and access to where I got this stuff. As always, thanks for watching. Please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you have not already, share the channel with your friends, family, anybody that enjoys good old outdoor activities and gear. Hit me up in that comments section, and until the next one, guys, adios.